Hello, friends, and welcome into the Cowboys Report presented by BetDSI, the internet's #1 sportsbook. Let's take it now to my Cowboys mailbag. I love it. I think you guys do as well. First up from Aaron on Twitter asking, what's the chances the Cowboys go after Amari Cooper? Well, at their current asking price of a first-round pick, pretty much zero. The Raiders reportedly want a first-rounder for Cooper, which makes no sense because the Cowboys aren't going to give that up. They're not stupid. Cooper is not worth a first-round pick. And he has drop issues, and frankly, his value is at his lowest point. Now, if it comes down to a third rounder, which is what I want to give up, or a second rounder even, that's when I think maybe it makes a little bit more sense. But there's been enough buzz that pretty much every Cowboys reporter in America has talked about an Amari Cooper trade, so just keep that in mind. As for Cooper himself, let me know if you guys want him. Type Y for yes, type N for no in the comments section. All right, Matt S. asks, is there anybody who might be on the trade block? And I assume he means from the Cowboys' perspective. I don't think there's anyone really on the block, but if there is a name that you guys know that could be shopped, I think it's actually Jordan Lewis. Now, as I've said before, I don't like the idea of doing this. I like him more than anything Brown, although Brown has been a nice surprise for me this year. I don't expect Dallas to sell right now either. But Lewis is proving his value with a Rouzier banged up. This is why you don't trade away corners. You always need corners in the NFL. So I don't think you're going to see Lewis get dealt, but if the Cowboys collapse until the end of October, maybe someone like Lewis makes a little bit of sense. He doesn't quite fit what Chris Richard wants to do ideally. All right, folks, I am hosting and giving away Cowboys jerseys. Here's how you can get one, a Zeke one, a Dak one, several others. Sign up with BetDSI, chatsports.com/bet. Promo code is Cowboys120. So you're putting down $50 with BetDSI. They'll give you $60 for free. You get a free Zeke Elliott jersey, and then DM me on Twitter at WhatGoingDowney to join my game, my weekly NFL Pick'em game, and if you come in first place, you get $25. You're saving way more than you're actually spending here if you do this deal. So DM me on Twitter at WhatGoingDowney if you guys want in. All right, from Echelon 7, he asks, all the Cowboys podcast hosts said Thompson was a true burner. Hasn't seen that yet this year, which is fair, but is he? And why not put him in Austin's role? Well, as for the burner part, yes, he is. Deontay Thompson does have the speed to be a legitimate vertical deep threat, and frankly, he has been that throughout his NFL career. The problem for, I think, that Thompson is it's the way he's been used. It's mostly been inside of 10 yards because the Cowboys offense never takes shots deep downfield for whatever reason. Thompson has one target this year of 20-plus yards. And in terms of the deep that Austin did at least try to bring for the Cowboys, although it wasn't all that consistent because the Cowboys don't take shots deep downfield for whatever reason, Thompson can fill that deep speed role. But the part that made Austin so great was the screens and the jet sweeps and the reverses. I don't know if Thompson fills that role. He doesn't quite have that same short area quickness that Austin and what makes Austin so talented. So you can use him a little bit like Tavon, but I don't think it'll be in the exact same Tavon-Austin role. From Terminator Cop 1, next up, speaking of Thompson, asks if Bryce Butler should get more playing time than Deontay Thompson. You guys know that I'm not exactly the biggest fan of Bryce Butler. At me on Twitter, haters, at WhatGoingDowney. But I agree. And for one big reason. I think that if you cut Deontay Thompson, you should get a fourth-round pick via the compensatory draft process. Butler is just as fast as Thompson. He and Dak clearly have good chemistry. And yeah, there are drop issues with Butler. But as you guys have pointed out before, he can make some plays for you. And he's done that before. He's got one snap for Dallas. Why is he on the roster if he's not ever going to play? Doesn't make sense to me, so I'm actually typing in B in the comment section here. Give me Bryce Butler. I think he should play more right now for the Cowboys because the offense needs some more help there. Why not try the guy that you saw make some plays for you last season? All right, from Cherry now. And we talk more about the receivers here. Wants Gallup to be the 1, Butler the 2, and then Beasley, Hearns, and Thompson. Here's kind of how this depth chart would look if Cherry gets their way. Gallup the 1, Butler the 2. If you're talking about 3 as in the slot, that's fine. I think in reality, Beasley is your number 1, but if you're making it as like outside 1, outside 2, and slot 1, then I'm fine with Beasley there being your number 3. I lean still more toward Allen Hearns, but if Allen Hearns doesn't get things going in the near future, why not try Bryce Butler? Got to get something going there. Butler brings you speed, which I think you need right now on this offense. All right, Kingsley the GOAT, whose emoji does not transfer over in this tweet. He says he's really unsatisfied with the secondary besides Byron Jones. He says Heath got an INT, but it was a tip drill. Overall, with the secondary, I do get what you're saying. I think if you had asked most Cowboys fans, they thought it was going to be the breakout year for Xavier Woods in particular. Hasn't happened yet. I tried to warn you guys, by the way. But it hasn't happened yet. Byron, as King C points out, has been fantastic this year. Has become a true number one cornerback. Cheeto's been banged up and has been targeted a lot, and as a result, has given up some yards. But I'll make note of Anthony Brown. Not perfect by any means, i.e. the play against DeAndre Hopkins. But I've been pretty pleased with how Brown has played. I still would prefer Jordan Lewis, but Brown hasn't been a disaster for the most part. Hasn't been perfect, more of a C grade. But I think he's been pretty good. Overall, I give the Cowboys secondary, I don't know, B-, C+, somewhere in that range. Byron bumps it up, but you need more impact plays from those safeties in particular. Heath and Woods, beyond the one interception, haven't quite done it enough so far this year. All right, folks, we're trying to get our YouTube channel to 5K subscribers. Head on over to youtube.com/Dallas Cowboys Report. We'll get that lower third up in there for you guys as well. So subscribe today. All of our great Cowboys coverage all in one spot. And oh, by the way, has exclusive content on that page. Subscribe today, folks. youtube.com/Dallas Cowboys Report. All right, now back to the mailbag. Ricky Tompkins. He says, once Dallas pays everybody, Dak and Zeke and D-Law, will they go out in the offseason and throw money around unlike previous years? They're going to have a lot of money. Now, you're actually not going to pay Zeke after this year because I assume we're talking about this current offseason. But even if you want to pay Dak and DeMarcus Lawrence and whomever else, you will have enough money to go out and make some splash signings. Maybe it's an Earl Thomas. Maybe it's a big-name wide receiver. I would expect this offseason for the Cowboys to go out and get a splash free agent or two, something we haven't really seen them do in the past couple years, as you point out, Ricky. All right, next up from Dominique, he says, does Sean Lee take LVE's spot when he comes back, or will he continue to sit on the bench? It's going to be a little bit of both. It's going to be a rotation, and it's going to be a three-man rotation for the most part. You'll occasionally see some of Damian Wilson, maybe a little bit of Justin Marshall, like a snap or two a game, but it is going to be those three guys, Leighton Vander Esch, Jalen Smith, and Sean Lee, sharing duty, keeping them all fresh, keeping them all healthy. And by the way, that trio at linebacker, with what we know Sean Lee is, with how good Smith has looked this year, and how impressive LVE has been, I think we have to have this discussion at some point. Is this the best three-man linebacking core in the NFL? When you're not talking about edge guys. If they're all healthy, I kind of think so. All right, from Corey now. He asks, will Jason and Scott be on the hot seat if we lose the Redskins, or will Jerry continue to give the old attaboys? Well, both, really. Garrett is on the hot seat. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Garrett is coaching for his job right now. But even if the Cowboys lose, yes, he's still on the hot seat. But guess what? Jerry and Steven are not going to say, oh, yeah, we hate Jason Garrett. He's definitely on the hot seat. No owner, no front office man in the history of ever has ever publicly stated anything but support for their head coach, all the way up until right before they got fired. Now, maybe it leaks out, but they're not going to say, yeah, we're pretty disappointed with our coach so far this year. They're going to be supportive of him. That's how front offices work. With that said, if Garrett misses the playoffs, I do think he's gone. All right, folks, get your own awesome mizzen and main shirt. Comfortable.af is the site, and trust me, that URL checks out. You will not find a more comfortable dress shirt than a mizzen and main one. All right, back now to the mailbag from the Gold Surfer. He asks, what are the chances that Garrett gets fired after this year? Well, as I said before, I think if Cowboys miss the playoffs, Garrett's gone. I don't know how you can justify bringing him back if that ends up being the case there. At that point, you have got to go find somebody else there if you're the Dallas Cowboys, because it's not getting the job done if Jason Garrett can't get you to the playoffs. I know it's kind of a rebuilding year, but I do think you need to fire Garrett if he fails to make the playoffs. So, folks, let me know. Do you still want Garrett fired? Type K for keep, type F for fire. Was better last week, but we know this Cowboys team up and down, just like this Redskins team actually as well. All right, next up, the Cowboys mailbag. Mr. Porcupine says, make Tony Romo the head coach. He's truly a Cowboy. Every week. I love Tony Romo. I really do. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. I was a huge fan of his, even just growing up. But you cannot plug in a broadcaster with zero head coach experience and expect to win games. If Tony wants to come be the quarterback's coach, sign me up in a heartbeat. But you can't make him your head coach. As great as he is, as much as I love him, it doesn't make a lick of sense. All right, folks, Cowboys jersey giveaway. Here's how you can get a Zeke Elliott jersey or Dak Prescott jersey or several other ones for free. Sign up and deposit with BetDSI. Chatsports.com/bet. Promo code Cowboys120. Then DM me on Twitter for my NFL Weekly Pick'em link. Sign up is free for that game. If you come in first place, we'll give you $25. So again, you're already way ahead here. Then join my game, and then we'll send you guys a free jersey. These, by the way, are the official NFL Nike jerseys. These are a legit deal. You will not get this deal anywhere else. So DM me on Twitter at WhatGoingDowney if you want in. All right, last question here from Bayboy J says, do you think Leighton Vander Esch has a chance to win Defensive Rookie of the Year honors if he keeps up his play? A chance, yes. But there's a lot of good contenders out there, so I don't consider it the most likely outcome right now for Vander Esch. As great as he's been, you're competing with guys like Derwin James, who's been great. Denzel Ward's been fantastic. Bradley Chubb just had like 3 sacks in a game. So overall, I like it quite a bit. And also, Darius Leonard actually has more tackles. So he's going to be in the mix. I don't consider him a favorite, but I think he deserves some recognition because he really has been fantastic so far this season. All right, folks, go follow me on Twitter at WhatGoingDowney, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for our next Cowboys Report.